We have been members since 2018, and 15, excuse me, leads since 2018. And I remember that Geoff came home one day and was like, we're going to go to this thing. And I'm like, I don't want to go. My boys at the time were little. They were tiny little babies. I had a brand new baby at home, and I didn't want to take time away from my life to come to something that I thought was just going to be some kind of multi-layer.
Multi-level marketing, yeah, gotcha.
So we came to case study, and we sat in the front row, and I was like, okay, I get it. These are real people. They're doing these things, and they're making a difference in their lives. Let's go to the 2-day. So again, we took a whole weekend away from our children to come sit in the 2-day. And David Fisher he spoke to me that day, and I instantly turned in a light switch, and I was like, let's be pigs, let's do this. Let's refi the house, I'm ready to go. And he's like, we just came here to buy some houses. But at the time, we were dropping our kids off at 7 a.m. at daycare, and we were picking them up at 6 or 6:30 at night. And
It's about time to eat, time to do homework, and time to go to bed.
Yeah, I didn't get to spend any time with them. And my oldest is over there probably looking at his iPad. But he said something to me on Monday, and we were just conversing in the kitchen. He's like, Mom, thank you. Okay. He's like, thank you for all the time you're spending with us. Thank you for doing running club with us. Thank you for doing karate with us. Thank you for just spending the afternoons and picking us up from elementary school every day.
Dude, how much did you pay your kid to tell her that?
And I was like, oh my God, it's working. Our plan is working. This system works. He got to retire from corporate America 2 years ago and be a full-time lead. And I'm on my way out. I only work like 20 hours a week as it is right now. And so our path, it works, and I'm very passionate about it. And I'm just so happy that we bought our time back. And now it's up to us. It's on us on how we want to spend our time and how we want to grow our business. So that's just a little bit about our story and where we come from and just kind of where we are now and how grateful we are to the individuals that we've met along the way and to this system that has been proven time and time again, and that all we have to do is just follow in the footsteps of somebody else.
So tell us how you joined Lifestyles. How'd you find out about it?
So we do CrossFit. We're one of those crazy people that do CrossFit. And one of our friends was doing houses. And we just kept seeing him on Facebook. He'd buy something that was horrible, fix it up. And we finally asked him one day, what are you doing? And he started talking about, Geoff and him had a conversation first, and he started saying like ARV and da-da-da, and we're like, what are you saying? He's like, you just have to come to case study, and you just have to come to the education, and you'll get it. And that's how we started. We sat right here in these chairs, and then we came to the very next 2-day, and we signed up, and we became what's the first one? Challenge members. We only did houses that first year because he was too chicken. And we did 10 houses, and then we were like, okay,
10 houses in 1 year?
No.
I don't feel like that's chicken.
7 in 1 year. 7 in 1 year.
No, there's no
And then
chicken
we
about
came back the very next year to the 2-day, and then he finally said, you're right. We should have been pigs from the beginning.
You just now said that?
He did.
Oh,
yeah.
Only time ever.
Oh, that's the only time?
Only time ever.
I got you.
And then we started being passives. And then we got involved in the passives. And again, coming to case study, there were leads up here. And I was like, they can do that. We can totally do that. And then we did all the education. And Geoff came to a road trip. And I said, whatever you do, we're not ready to buy a property. And he came home that day and said, but it's in Hondo, Texas. And I know Hondo, Texas really well. And I think we're going to do this. And that's how it all started. And that was 4 years ago when we did our first lead deal. So
Awesome. So now then, let's talk about the property. This isn't the one in Hondo.
Nope.
But
You can take all the other stuff.
okay. So you're gonna be able to talk a little bit here? Is that what's gonna happen? Oh man, that's nice.
So this is our second deal. It's Calypso Apartments. It's here in San Antonio. gap between buying the first property and the second property was the rehab on the first one. But this one we bought in 2021, June of 21. It's 92 units right on the edge of the medical center. We looked at this property a year before, and we were almost ready to go under contract with it, and then COVID hit, and we just kind of, everybody backed away from the table. Cool thing is they brought it back to the market a year later at almost $1 million less. So we got a really good deal on a really quality located asset.
Hey, Geoff, so on this one, you got $2.8 million. Did that come out of your pocket, or how did you come up with that?
Some of it came out of my pocket. We raised $2.8 million from investors, passive investors. And
then the question is, how many investors are in your property? About.
I think we have like 40 investors on this one, and it ranges anywhere from 25,000 to 200,000. So it just depends. Anybody that wanted to get in the deal that we had met that was interested, then we ran with it. So this property, we had some.
Wait, where do your investors live?
All over.
Yeah,
So they're not all in San Antonio?
No, they're all over the United States. We've got some that are North Carolina. We've got some that are Arizona. Most of them are Texas, but most of them are not San Antonio. I think we have maybe 2 or 3 that are from San Antonio. So.
I know one.
Are any of them here tonight?
Yes.
3 of them. Well, you're in the other.
Somebody likes it, but not on this one. Huh?
But this one, we needed to, part of that money that we raised was for renovations. This property, it is a really good location, but it had been mismanaged, was kind of on the bad boy list with the city, and we knew coming in we were gonna have to change some things. So you see that line item down there is $825,000 in rehab. That was a lot of interior repairs, a lot of capital repairs, water lines, sewer lines, fun stuff. So
Awesome. So now talk a little bit about the finances here. How much you're making, how much you're keeping. Oh, it's not. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Sorry.
okay. There it is. It's back up.
There we go.
It's up there.
So our top line income, rental income, utilities income, a little over $1 million, about $525 in operational expenses, and then you've got mortgage and other expenses that are below the line. So that gives us about a little over $9,000 in monthly cash flow. We've raised that NOI about $100,000 year over year, and that was not an easy lift, but we we worked hard to get there.
You had some fun challenges along the way as well.
Yeah, we did. We've had code compliance up our rear end, and from the previous management company, we've had on-site pharmaceutical sales.
Sure.
We've had
And you had
all kinds
some
of fun
extra
stuff.
laundry expense.
Yeah, we had a fire. We had a fire in our laundry room. One of the dryers lit up. Somebody left like a vape pen or a cigarette lighter in their clothes, and it went through the dryer and burned our laundry room, and they subsequently destroyed our office in the process of putting that fire out. So then we got to go through re-permitting and rebuilding our office.
So what was the purchase price again?
We were $7.25 million, 7.25.
$7.25, and right now you're looking at 9.4.
Yep.
Big lift. Good job.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about what you did.
So the renovations, some of the units we've had to take all the way down to almost bare studs. This particular unit that you're looking at here, we were able to keep the drywall, but cabinets had to get replaced, all new appliances. The rooms didn't have ceiling fans. They didn't even have lights. You'd walk in and there was a light switch that would operate a plug where you'd plug in a lamp. That was a thing in the 70s. So you buy a 70s property, that's a big thing. So we go in and add ceiling fans to the bedrooms, to the living rooms, make it a little more inviting. Basically everything in that apartment is high efficiency, Energy Star appliances, LED lighting, water saving plumbing fixtures. We do all the stuff. New floors, paint, you name it, it got touched. So, and that's every unit. So, and more pictures of, yeah.
All right. So then you want to talk about the numbers? You want me to talk about the numbers? Okay. So one thing you guys will notice is that whenever we first start, We got our income and our expenses, and we got the NOI. NOI is how properties are valued, and so you'll learn a little bit about that in the 2-day if you don't know it already. And so you want to see the growth there. You see he started out year 1, 421. Year 2 is 494, and I think we got a projection on year 3 of 536. So the next slide, we're going to show what the improvement is and how much he's going to get back due to that heavy lift that he put into this property. You also see cash-on-cash returns. So this is the distribution that he's able to make after his mortgage and all of his CapEx and everything, and you'll see that grow there as well. Next slide is the big slide. So the NOI that was on the previous slide just transfers over to here. So now you see what the value is with those NOI bumps. You said you bought it for 8. What'd you? 7.2. So 7.2 after year 1, it's 8. Currently, it's 9.4 and projected to be about $10.2 million. So whenever we liquidate a property, the first thing we have to do is pay off the loan. The next thing we do is return all of the original capital back to the investors, so everybody gets their money back, right? And then on top of that, for whatever cash distributions he's been able to kick out quarter after quarter, then we have a total equity of $2.5 million. So he's put $2.5 million on a $2.8 million out of pocket. So that's almost 100% return in 3 years. So that's a little bit better than 20%. That's about 30%. Mm-hmm. I'll take it all day long. Yep. So anybody think that's a good deal? Yeah, I do. I'm glad to be in that deal.
Even though the last guy said that'd probably be a single, right? Yeah. Maybe a bun.
That'd be like fantastic.
Yeah, good job, guys, for sure. Next slide. All right, so then talk about what you did to improve that NOI.
When we took that property over, we had just under $100,000 in delinquency. That means people live in there, they haven't paid rent, and they're still living there. So I was fortunate enough to have a really good operations consultant help me find good staff. And with that staff, we were able to get that all the way down to 0 in the
How long
first
did it
5
take?
months.
5 months, nice.
Yeah. To date, we've renovated, I think it's 55, it might be 58 units. And on those lease swaps, when people move out, we renovate the unit, new people move in, there's 20-25% rent bump on those units. That's part of the market. That's also part our renovation. We had a lot of major issues where we were having to have plumbers out on the property weekly, bi-weekly. Sewer problems, we had sewer collapses, we had to excavate, we had to replace water lines, you name it, we had to touch it. The only thing we haven't, knock on wood, had any issues with was electrical. One of the first things I noticed when we took the property over, I drive a big 1-ton pickup parked in the parking lot. The police would always stop in front of my truck and look at it. I started noticing a pattern every time they'd come, and they're running my plate. So I went out and I started talking to them. They said, "Is that your truck?" "Yes." "Okay, well, we've been running it, waiting for it to show up stolen. This property's known for people dumping stolen vehicles." So then we started a dialogue with local PD, let them know what we were doing, have them come in. They come in to our office, talk with our staff, probably at least once or twice a month. And they were very instrumental in helping me figure out where my problem children were on the property. So working with your local people is your police, your fire, local municipalities. That's a big thing. Another thing that helps the proverbial cockroaches scatter is when you light up the exterior. So I don't know. The first property we bought, we had no lighting. Second property, there was lights, but none of them worked. So you work on the exterior, you light it up. People don't want to hang out there in the dark shadows anymore because there aren't any.
So you hit all the points. You made it a better community, right? Because you made it. You worked with your station there. You improved the exterior of it.
Yep.
You improved the product so that you got better rents, and then you also fixed everything from an expense side so that your plumbing and whatnot. So that's a big. Obviously, that's a big part of making that NOI a lot better. So, good work, guys. Okay. So now then, how has lifestyles changed your life?
That's you, girl.
I mean, I kind of said a lot of it at the intro.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
So.
You got now. You got to give more. You got to do something else. You've already done that. So.
I mean, it's.
How about meeting a lot of people?
That's I meet a lot of people all the time, but it truly just has. I will talk about the children. Zachary, Jacob, come here.
iPads down.
Yeah. The number one thing it has changed is the trajectory of my children's lives. So we grew up in families that did not talk about money. They didn't talk about bills. They didn't talk about how you manage money. It was all kept quiet. It was all about go to school, work hard, get a job, work your whole life, and then maybe one day you will retire. The message is very, very, very different in our household for them. So we talk openly about them. I got a call from his first grade teacher that was like, you might want to tell your son that we don't talk about net worth in class. And when they say, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I kind of say lead real estate investor.
All right.
And what do you want to be?
The same.
The same. But he also, when he was smaller, said he used to wanted to work at Target for the discounts. And we would say, that's awesome. You can do whatever you want to do if you have passive income. So I would say that's the number one thing it has changed is the dynamic for them and what they know is possible in life. And because it's changed their trajectory, it's completely changed ours as well. It's when you're that little kid and you think, like, what do I want to do? What do I want to be? Do I want to build a company? Do I want to be totally passive and sit on the beach somewhere? Like, we have now the power to just completely reinvent the rest of our lives from here on forward. And that, to me, is priceless. Thank you, boys.
All right, now then, let's talk about goals, short-term, long-term.
Short-term goal is to get out of my corporate job 100% and focus on helping him grow our business. He's very good at some things, but I'm also
She gave you some credit.
good. I'm excited to add some touches, let's just say that,
Yeah, I
on
need
a
the help.
regular basis.
I need the help.
He needs some polishing. He was my original rehab project.
There we go.
Well,
Yes.
you did a great job.
True story. You wouldn't recognize me if you knew what she married. We still have a couple of single-family houses. Want to offload those, get those sold, so we can continue to continue to invest in multifamily, and like she said, get her fully retired so she can integrate completely into our business. And I'm excited to see where that takes us, because the focus that she's got is twice what I've got. So.
Excellent. And let's talk a little about who was on your team.
Robert and Doug, you guys, the mentors, I can't say enough good things about both of y'all. Call, email, you're like, yeah, okay, let's talk through it. Teresa, operations consultant, I still haven't stumped her. I'm going to stump her one day. There's going to be something that I will come across that she's like, I don't know.
I doubt it.
But it's not there yet. I called Teresa, not on this property, another property. We had a fire. I sent her a text message at 10:30 at night. Hey, we got a fire on a property. I'm going to need to talk to you tomorrow. She immediately responds, okay, is everybody okay? It's the ability to reach out to these guys, and they've been there, done that. They know how to calm you down, have a conversation with you. Make sure you don't do something stupid, because Lord knows I would do something stupid. And it's the team that you've got here, and you can always call some of the other leads that have been through something. The team atmosphere that this place brings is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, I second that. The openness of the community and the mentors and everything, just having somebody to talk to sometimes, makes a big difference. Whenever you're going through just something kind of, it's a rut of a day, and you got people that have skipped, and you just want to call somebody. You got other people that are in this community with you that can kind of talk to you a little bit. You get on with your day, and the next day's even better. So,
And all of a sudden you realize you're not the only one.
not the only one. Yeah, you're not on an island.
And I've never been part of an organization in my professional life where seeing something good in somebody and emulating it is not frowned upon. It's actually encouraged. And so I get a ton of, I like to watch other leads' Facebook pages and their properties and their offices, and it's all welcome information to be like, ooh, I like the way that they did their office. Ooh, that's a great idea. Oh, what if we do this? And that information sharing is welcomed. And that's one of the big things
She's
that
got a
makes
file
us
on her
unique.
phone that's screenshots and pictures of nothing but all
Zach,
what all
you're
the
in a
other
lot of
leads are
them.
doing. Yeah.
So now we got questions?
We're on for questions now.
All right. Do we have any online?
We have one online.
What do we got?
They want to know if you had any aluminum wiring, and if so, did you pigtail?
Perfect. Yeah.
Yes, we did, and no, we didn't. We've got aluminum wiring in this property, and the property was about 75% Kolar when we bought it, so we just finished that out. And thankfully, that's still acceptable. The purple wire nuts are hella expensive, though.
Question, audience? Yes, sir. Oh, yeah.
You know that property. An entire building.
Hold on. We got to ask the question for the
How many
online
purple
guys.
Martians do we have to get rid of? So SAPD on the audience. How many purple Martians do we have to get
You
rid
got to
of?
explain purple Martians for the new folks.
You want that one?
Yeah, so, well, when you come to the 2-day, you're going to learn about purple Martians, and if you ever any deals, you'll hear about purple Martians. So a purple Martian is someone that you have in your property that just, you can't really understand what's going on with them.
They
You know
bring
what
their
I mean? It's
motorcycle in the living room,
Yeah.
change the oil on
anything
their couch.
that you think you would not do is everything they're going to do.
Yeah. So we had a whole building of those.
There,
So after our fire, how did we come out? We came out good. Our office is better. So laundry room, the fire was in the laundry room, but our laundry room's attached to the office. And fire department came in and basically tore up the whole building. Chasing hot spots, gable roof. They wanted to make sure the fire didn't get above the plate. So we got free demo, which was nice, but we had to clean it up. But
Well, you were going to remodel the office anyway.
we
so
were,
yeah, that
we
kind
were,
of
yeah,
fits.
we were gonna remodel the office, not to that extent, but yeah, luckily we only had a $25,000 deductible on our insurance policy. The rehab was like $75,000, so we got $50,000 on insurance proceeds, and we were able to put it back together, and it's better today than it was when we took it over.
I also think we've been through a few insurance claims now, and we've also learned a lot from it. And fire is going to happen, storms are going to happen, things are going to happen at these properties, and we feel much better equipped now, knowing how to handle it, knowing what to expect, how to work with your lenders on things as well.
Can you imagine going through that? Because you guys had the hailstorm, you had the fires. You've had plenty of fun times, right?
Yes.
Can you imagine going through that by yourself without anybody to call? I mean, how would you do it?
Yeah,
I'm the same way. I've had problems on my properties. If I couldn't call Teresa, hell, I'd probably be all white-haired and ready to sell everything about now. So,
my hair would have fallen out.
oh, so you have had a few fires.
No, but I mean, to that point too, you talk about the team. Teresa shows up with waters, offers to go get us food the day we were cleaning the fire up at Calypso, because that's who she is. You don't have that anywhere else. If you're flying solo, good luck, because
really.
there's a whole lot of landmines you can step on.
Next question, yes. Why don't you tell us kind of what your occupancy swing has been?
So we took the property over, occupancy swing, took the property over on paper. It was 98% occupied. Actual was about 94. But like we
And
said, we had people
economic
living
was
there
like
that weren't paying.
50?
So it's easy to have 94% physical when you don't collect.
You don't charge anything.
We got that cleaned up. We maintained partially. Some of the residents were propped up on rent relief for a while. And April and May, our occupancy dropped to 80 because everybody that had all of their rent relief, it cashed out. They picked up and moved out. A couple of evictions in there, and now we've got it back up today. I think it was 95%. So that's a life cycle. Normally that happens a little quicker on properties like this. Normally it's in the first 6 months, not the first year. But
The rent
it's-
relief, I mean, that was a whole different situation to go through with the life cycle of a property. Normally those evictions and things would have happened much sooner into the life cycle.
yeah.
Black Swan.
Any more questions? Got any more online?
Yeah, we got two more online. Michael Flynn out of Seattle. I wonder if he's the famous guy from Trump's. Michael Flynn. He wants to know what your names are so he can congratulate you.
Carla Zickler.
Jeff Zickler.
And how do they find you? What are you on?
I'm on Podium.
You're on
Yeah.
Podium. All right, cool. They're on Podium. And there's one off of Facebook here.
And I think we're on the celebration list too.
Should be.
I can't.
Okay,
That's
so
too
here-
small. Oh, there it is.
This is the Facebook.
How long did it take the office and the laundry to be rebuilt?
6 months.
Too damn long.
Yeah.
We
Too
had
long.
to go. You work with you buy properties in these small municipalities that don't have anything else to do but make your life difficult. So we had to go get plans drawn for the building. We had to get the building re-engineered. Then we had to bring most of the functions up to 2018 builder code, which had we just renovated it, we wouldn't have to do any of that. But because there was a fire, and I always say I don't like people in my Kool-Aid. I don't like building inspectors in my buildings.
Yeah, we had to wait
Not that we do anything wrong,
on
but they will.
inspections, like several weeks in between
And
inspections.
so it took forever. We could have had it done in about 60 days, but it took 6 months.
So you guys have had a tremendous amount of experience. It'd be good to be able to share that, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Awesome. Any more questions? Yes.
That's called a senior moment right there, right?
So,
All right, I got one more
before
online.
Before we give our
I got one
round of
more
applause-
online.
Got another one?
Yeah,
Okay,
is that
one
all right?
more.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, so question online is, that's a big loan. Can you talk about your loan? How'd
It
you
is a
get
big
it?
loan.
Yeah. What kind of terms do you have? Was there any
So
IO?
this
This
was
is a
a bridge
sophisticated
loan.
question.
Bridge loans are bad words right now. We bought this in June of 21. It's an adjustable rate mortgage or a floating rate mortgage. So right now, it's not the most exciting thing in the world. We were originally, when we bought this, we bought it and they lent us 70% loan to cost. So our original loan was $5,075,000. And part of the bridge loan, when you do your rehab, they give you some of the money to do the renovation. And so our loan today is $5.3 million. And that's where it'll sit as we're working through a refi right now.
Yes, sir.
Did it come back to you?
Is it though?
No, because the flu's back. Since COVID's gone, are we still getting rent relief?
So yes, there is still rent relief that's available to people. They can apply for it. The cities and municipalities still have funds. They're a little more diligent about who they give the money to. It's not just flowing like it was. But yeah, we still, as operators, we still feel the effects of some of the COVID era stuff when it comes to evictions for non-payment and things like that. Timelines are much longer. We have to hold on to people longer than normally we would have, even more than the property code says. But you just learn to adapt. Teresa?
Question back there?
Yeah, the CARES Act is still in place. Yeah. Unfortunately, we're still dealing with a lot of that. Yeah, NHSD has money that they actually just got more money from the federal government. Mandates.
Yeah, the
Still under
CARES
COVID
Act.
mandates, yes. We still have to adhere to a lot of the CARES Act eviction issues that were forced upon us. So, yeah.
Any more questions? One more question. Yes, ma'am.
Last one. Last one.
Always.
Always looking for the next
We're
deal.
always looking for the next deal, honestly. We're actively looking for another deal right now.
So before we give these guys a round of applause, I want to bring my mentor, Doug Krimmel, up. We got a special announcement I want to make today. So earlier I mentioned the fact that being a mentor is really an honor because you're able to give back some of what you've learned. And Doug has been a mentor for a long time. The better part of 8 years.
How long has that been?
The better part of 8 years, isn't it?
Close to 8 years, yeah.
Close to 8 years. And through that time, Doug, man, you've helped a lot of people. There's no doubt about it. And lots of members, you've been able to retire them. You've helped leads to be able to get their apartment association awards. You've met a lot of good people. And, I know that you've enjoyed that time. Personally, You were my mentor when I got started, and you helped me retire, and I appreciate that.
Mine too.
There you go. So
Thank you.
I want to give the floor to Doug. Doug's going to be leaving, but he's not going to be leaving, but he's going to be relinquishing his duties as a mentor. So Doug, would you like to say anything?
You know, it was 2011 when I came on board, and at that time, I made myself a promise. I said, you know, if Lifestyles can retire me, give me financial freedom, wouldn't it be nice to have an opportunity to give back to those that gave me the roadmap? Well, you fast forward to 2015, 7.5, 8 years ago, that opportunity came about. Dale Walmsley approached me, and that was the opportunity for me to take forward the mentoring role for the next 7.5 years. And I had one goal in mind, like you were saying, Robert: retire as many people as I can, make as many award winners as I can, help passive investors find the right types of distribution that fits their needs, and to help aspiring leads find their first deal and leads continue. And that's what's really been really rewarding for me. You know, there's an old saying I heard a while back: you have to carry your crown before you can wear your crown. And so that's what I've done. I've carried that crown to do that. Now, my plan is for the next several years of my life, I'm going to go wear my crown, and I'm going to go ahead and enjoy that financial freedom that Lifestyles has given me, get more involved in community events, do things, work on my health, take care of myself and my family. So that's what it looks like. I'm going to continue to be around here. You'll see probably as much of me, as not more, probably driving a lot of you crazy and everything. But anyhow, it's been quite a journey. I've enjoyed it. Thank you all very much.
Hey, appreciate you. And so as we have one leave, we have one come in, and I guess make that announcement. Old Geoff has decided to step up and give back as well. So thank you, Geoff, for stepping up. Looking really forward to working with you and helping out these members to retire and do all the things that we're supposed to do as mentors. So
Looking forward to it.
absolutely. You have anything? Did you have a prepared speech, Geoff?
No.
Okay, well, that's okay. That's okay. So with that, let's be sure to give Geoff and Carla a round of applause. Please give Doug a round of applause for all of his service. And I'm going to turn it back over to you, Chris.
Before you step down, I want to bring your wife back up.
Put her on stage?
I am going to put her back on stage, right? There's a question we always ask, and that's, what would you tell the new folks in the room?
Oh, she's got that.
Okay, you can turn yours off then.
Jump, run, do, great action. It's not on.
Oh, you got to do that again. Do it again. Rewind.
I was going to say, jump, run, take action. Don't go think about it. Don't be like, I'm not ready. I need more education. Don't kick the can down the road. Take action now. Every single person that has been successful that I've run into in this organization has said one thing in common. They wish they would have done sooner. So don't wait.
That's it.
All right.